So ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome first to the blue corner, raise the roof for Will Cairns. And ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome his opponent into the red corner. Raise the roof for Jayden Vermeulen. So ladies and gentlemen, this bout is 3 out of 2 minute rounds of boxing. So ladies and gentlemen, let's meet your fighter. Your fighter standing in the blue corner. Ladies and gentlemen, he's wearing red shorts. And ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the one and the only Will Cairns. And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent facing him, boxing out of the red corner. Ladies and gentlemen, he's wearing all grey. And he goes by the name of the one and only Jayden Vermeulen. A visual referee in charge of the action, Mr. Ryan Flood.
Well, here we go. PBL14 is up and running. I'm Aki Kareem, and as always, I'm joined by Dan Murray. And Dan, here we are again, mate. 16 fights, and it's going to be a good night of action.
Yeah, we're having a look through the list of fights before, and some
boxers ready.
Starting with this one,
round one.
Jayden here, only 18 years old.
Yeah, and so we've got Will Cairns in the red, and we've got Jayden Vermeulen in the grey, and it's going to be a good matchup here. Will, he's got a good reputation. He's seasoned, he's durable, he's entertaining. And on the other end, you've got Jayden, who's a young lad, and he's just starting out a little bit. Really, he's emerging as a good talent, and we're going to see what happens here. First thing you know, it's got orthodox versus southpaw, Dan.
Yeah,
and just as I've said that, he switched.
you can see straight away that Will's very, very experienced. He's just having a little look. This fight for Jayden, the perfect fight for him, because this is where he's going to learn. He's going to develop in a fight like this.
So Will with the pit ball on his shorts. So at some stage, you might see him tuck up and swing for it.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the experience of Will there. He just started fairly cagey, just having a look at the younger man, just sort of working him out a little bit. But you're right, I think as the fight goes on, I think Will might start opening up, throw some haymakers in. Jayden's just got to keep composed. I mean, some nice work there from Jayden. Using jab well, I think is vitally important. Is not to get into a fight with Will. I think Will would want this to get into
a good left hook from Will.
Yeah,
he's quite loose and relaxed, isn't he?
Yeah.
A bit like you are after you've had a drink.
Let's not talk about you after a drink, eh? Yeah, Jayden just needs to be a bit smart, because I think if he gets into a fight with Will, I think it'd be a hard night's work for him. There you go, good counter right hand there from Will.
And he took it well, Jayden, but you know, with these types of head guards, with the covering over your cheek, you know, under your eyes sort of thing, it's almost like your vision's a little bit obscured a little bit if you don't get one that fits properly.
Yeah.
So you know that right hand, it kind of caught him in his. It was kind of in his blind spot a little bit there.
Yeah, you're right. When the shots are coming straight, you can see them, but when they start looping around the sides of those head guards, you're quite right. It obscures the vision a little bit. I just think Jayden was trying to feel his way into that round a little bit, but Will, for me, looks very, very strong. He looks the stronger of the two in there.
Well, if you're just joining us, it's PBL14, and we're here at the Hideout Arena in Bolton. Always a good night, 16 fights, and this is the first one of the evening. Will Kane in the red, and we've got Jayden Vermeulen in the grey. In we go into round number 2. And scoring-wise, Dan, you'd probably edge Will, wouldn't you, the first round? It just looked a bit more composed.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Round 2.
Jayden needs to assert himself on the fight a little bit. He's a little bit too relaxed in there. Just want to see a bit more snap in his shots, and there you go, get Will on the back foot.
Well, Will's quite, like I said, he's quite loose, so he's got a good defence. He was throwing some good counter shots in the first round, so I suppose Jayden needs to probably just get to the basics, throw the nice stiff jab, just time it a bit better.
Yeah, I mean, you look at someone like Will, as experienced as Will is, and he's been about for a while, he's had a lot of fights, you're probably not going to get him out of there, so you just want to see some nice boxing from Jayden. Just seems a little bit too relaxed in there for me.
I think he's looking to walk him onto like a looping overhand shot. He's tried it a couple of times, because you see Jayden's just a little bit more upright, isn't he?
Yeah.
But he's having a better start to this round. So he just takes a half step back there. He's just wary of his distance, you know, a bit better this round.
He's just got to be mindful of what's coming back. I mean, Will's landing some good shots here. It's particularly that nice back left hand of his. He's just sort of looping it over, and he's landing it. So Jayden just needs to be a little bit careful. Like I say, I just want to see a bit more urgency in Jayden's work.
Well, guys, if you fancy a go yourselves, you're watching now and thinking I fancy a bit of that, you need to get in contact with the Premier Boxing League, get in contact with Phil and Dane, and see what you can do yourselves. So back to the action here, and it's a harder one to score this, because nothing really clean's getting through at the minute. And like I say, if you're just joining us, we've got 16 fights for you tonight, so the action's going to be coming in thick and fast. End of round number 2. Probably a bit harder to score that round, wasn't it? It could potentially be 1-1, couldn't it?
It could potentially be 1-1. It could potentially be 2-0 to Will. Difficult to score. Like I said at the start, it's a good learning fight this for Jayden. He's only a young lad. He's only 18 years old. Will's bags of experience. So I think that Jayden just want to see more urgency. He jabs well. He throws that sort of snappy sort of left up quite well. But just want to see him build on that a little bit.
Well, he's very relaxed in between rounds, isn't he? Just standing up, having a chat.
Yeah.
Orders out. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as we enter the third and final round. Round 3.
Well, here we go into the third and final round. 3 2-minute round contest. And I suppose when you got a short fight like this, you need to kind of assert yourself, don't you? If you want it to be decisive, because you're always leaving yourself open for a close decision.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Will spent most of his fight on his back foot. He's felt quite comfortable there. This is better from Jayden. Going forward, he's throwing more shots. But when you get a fight on the back foot like Will, you just need to be a bit careful when you're coming in. You don't walk into something, because we've seen at times Will, he's looked dangerous in there, he's looked threatening, and he's landed some good shots. But the start of this round, a bit more assertive from Jayden, a lot better, but Will still having success.
That was a good left hand that got through there over the top. Again, it was that looping shot, which has been quite successful for Will. Excuse me. Guys, if you're just joining us, we're at the Hideout Arena here in Bolton for PBL14. At the minute, we're seeing Will Cairns and Jayden Vermeulen getting at it. It's our first fight of the evening. That was a good left hand there from Will. You'd say that's probably been his best shot, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Jayden's just getting caught with it. Maybe it's a southpaw stance. He's not used to it, or he's presenting a few problems. But yeah, that, for Will, that backhand of his has been having success. He just sort of loops it out the line of vision. It's a good shot.
Like I say, he's only young, Jayden. He's 18 years old, so there's plenty of time for him to develop. And one thing about these shows is it doesn't matter if you win, lose, or draw. They'll bring you back again. And a little good bit of action here at the end of the round, and that was a good left hand. But Jayden's done well himself, hasn't he? Really, considering he's inexperienced.
Jayden's done brilliant. I mean, look, he looks a little bit unhappy with himself in the corner, but credit for Jayden for taking such a fight. Will's very, very experienced. He went in there with the experienced man. Personally, I don't think it paid off for him. I think Will probably took that fight. But a brilliant learning fight for Jayden.
Well, we are going to get the official decision here. Our MC Matt Kirby's just getting in the ring. That's a pretty nifty waistcoat, that really, isn't it?
So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for both of these boxers. So ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of boxing, we go to our judges ringside, and they are all in favor of boxing out of the red corner.